Welcome back to my channel. I'm Anshul from Quantshala. So I recently organized a quiz on my Facebook Quantshala group. So we'll be discussing the solutions for that today. If you haven't attempted it yet, I am providing the link in the description below. Make sure to attempt it. This is the schedule for the next 3 days. So quiz on remainders is already done. Make sure to join the other two sessions, engagement for preparation doubts and the quiz on factors on the next 2 days. It will be on the same Facebook Quantshala group. The link will be in the description. Let's get started with the solutions for questions. So the quiz was having 5 questions to be solved in 15 minutes. Let's look at each of the 5 questions, their solutions, and wherever possible we look at multiple methods. So the first question says sum of digits of a number is 23. When divided by 11 and 33, remainders are 7 and x respectively. So we know that sum of digits is equal to 23 and the remainder with 11 is 7, and we are supposed to find the remainder of n with 33. Okay. So first of all, let's look at what does the remainder of 11 mean, because we are only given two things, sum of digits and the remainder with 11. So the remainder of 11, what does it mean? Let's take an example. Let's take a random number here, 1 4 3 2 8. Let's say 14,328. This is not related to the question. We are just taking an example to see what does the remainder of 11 mean. If you find the remainder of this with 11, we divide this with 11, we get, first we get 1, 3 gets carried over, we get 3 here, then you get 0, then you get 2. Okay, this is the quotient and 6 is the remainder. Make sure to check this out by yourself. So 1302 will be the quotient, 6 will be the remainder with 11 of 14,328. Let's try to calculate in a different way also. So 14,328 can also be written in this way, 1 into 10,000 plus 4 into 1000 plus 3 into 100, 2 into 10 and 8 into 1. All numbers can be written in this way. You should know how to write it in this way and get familiar with it, because this will be used in a lot of questions in CAT. Okay. So if you see, we'll find the remainder of each of these with 11, then multiply and add them individually. This requires you to know the basic concepts of remainders. Again, we have discussed those in the past videos. The descriptions are in the link in the description below. The remainder of 1 with 11 is 1. Remainder of 10 with 11 is 10, or you can say minus 1. 100 remainder with 11 will be 1. 1000 remainder with 11 will be minus 1. Again, you are multiplying 10 and 100's remainder to get the remainder of 1000. Similarly, 10,000 will be 1. So you can see the remainders are alternating, 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, 1. Okay. So the remainder of this entire thing, what will it be? It will be 1 minus 4 plus 3 minus 2 plus 8. Okay. So we are adding these digits from the right alternately, and we are subtracting these digits from the right. So these are the odd position digits, 1, 3, 5. I'm not talking about the values, the positions. So this is the first digit from the right, this is the second digit, third digit, fourth digit, fifth digit. Okay. So we are adding the fifth, third and first digit while we are subtracting the second and the fourth digit. Okay. So if you have a general number, let's say you have A, B, C, D, E, dot dot dot. We don't know how many digits are there. Okay. What will be the remainder with 11? It's going to be A plus C plus E plus sum of all these odd position digits minus B plus D plus dot dot dot, the sum of even position digits. Okay. So now let's say this is our number, this is equal to n, what we want to know. So the remainder with 11 is given as 7, that means this is equal to 7. Or you can write this as x minus y is equal to 7. Where what is x? X is the sum of odd position digits, y is the sum of even position digits. Okay. Also we know that x plus y is given as 23. The sum of all the digits is given as 23. Okay. So first of all, will this only be 7? Can this be 18 or 29 or 40 and so on? Yes, it can be, right? Because we are finding the difference of these odd and even position digits, and even if that comes out it is 18, we'll find the remainder with 11 again, which will be 7. Okay. So the remainder is 7 doesn't mean that this difference is supposed to be only 7. It can be 18 or 29 or 40 or anything. But in this case, if you see this, if you write 18, 29, all of this here, so what will be x? X will be adding these two equations, dividing by 2. So we know that the value of this RHS of the first equation has to be even, right? has to be odd. If it is even, let's say it is 18, so you add 23 and 18 to get 41. You can't divide that by 2 to get a natural number. And x is a digit, so it has to be between 0 and 9. Okay, so 18 and all even numbers are ruled out. Y, how do we find y? Y is by subtracting the first equation from the second equation and dividing by 2. So again, 23 minus 29 will become negative, which is not possible value for y. So all values above 23 are also ruled out. So the only value that we are left with is 7. Pause this video right here and make sure that you understand it properly. Write it on a pen and paper yourself. Don't just keep watching the videos. You will extract the main benefit, real benefit out of it when you actually solve it with me. Okay. So now we know that the 7 is the only possible value, and on solving this we get x is equal to 15 and y is equal to 8. Okay. That means the sum of odd position digits from the right 15, sum of even position digits from the right is 8. Similarly, so now we know that that we have the digits of the sum of odd position and even position digits. What we are supposed to find is the remainder of n with 33. Let's look at what the remainder of n with 33 means in terms of digits. Okay, let's look at the same number 14328. Okay, 14328. This is the same number that we took earlier, right? So this will be 1 into 10,000 plus 4 into 1000 plus 3 into 100 plus 2 into 10 plus 8 into 1. Okay. Looking at remainders with 33, remainder of 1 with 33 will be 1, 10 with 33 will be 10. Remainder of 100 with 33 is 1. Okay, 1000 with 33, again multiply 1 and 10 to get 10. This will be 1 again. Okay, again we can see these are alternating. So what is the remainder of 14328 with 33? You can write it thus. So you can write it as 1 into 1 plus 4 into 10 plus 3 into 1 plus 2 into 10 plus 8 into 1. Again, these odd position digits are getting multiplied by 1, while these are getting multiplied by 10. Okay. So what is the remainder? Remainder is 10 times sum of even positions plus sum of odd positions, or as we wrote it earlier, it will be 10 y plus x. This is the remainder of 33 for any number which is written like this. Okay, where x is the sum of odd position digits from the right, y is the sum of even position digits from the right. Okay. So we are supposed to find 10 y plus x. We already know y and x, right? We already know that x is 15, y is 8. So we get this as 80 plus 15 is equal to 95. The remainder of this with 33 will be 29. So 29 is our answer for this question. 29 is an option yes, so this will be the answer. Okay. Let's look at the same question from a different perspective. For this, we did a lot of calculations, we did a lot of conceptual things. Now, if you know Chinese remainder theorem, it's a little advanced theorem, doesn't come in the basic concepts of remainders, and we haven't discussed it yet. But if you know it, it's very easy to solve this question by Chinese remainder theorem also. So we know that the sum of numbers is 23. Sum of the digits is 23 for n, right? So let's first of all see what is the divisibility rule for 3. Divisibility rule for 3 is that we're supposed to add all the digits and find if this sum is divisible by 3 or not. Similarly, the remainder of 3 can be found out by adding all the digits, the sum, and then taking the remainder of this sum with 3. So the remainder of n with 3 will be the remainder of 23 with 3, which comes out as 2. Okay. So now we know that the remainder of n with 3 is 2, and the remainder of 11 with 3 is, remainder of n with 11 is 7. Okay. So or you can say that n can be written in the form 11a plus 7, and also in the form 3b plus 2. Okay. Now what Chinese remainder theorem tells us is that if you know the remainders with two co-prime numbers, 2 co-prime means 11 and 3 in this case, which do not have a common factor other than 1. So then you can easily find the remainder with the product of these co-prime numbers. You can easily find the remainder with, I think this, I've done a mistake here, this should be 7. So the remainder of 11, the remainder of n with 11 is 7, right? So you should write it as 11a plus 7, 3b plus 2. So there are two ways to solve this with Chinese remainder theorem also. First and simple way is just find which is the common number in these two series. For example, 11a plus 7, what are the possible values? Those are 11, and then those are not 11. The first and foremost is 7, then you have 18, for this for a equal to 0, a equal to 1, then you have 29, then you have 40, and so on. For this, what are the possible values? You have 2, 5, 8, 11, so on. So if you see, just find a common term between these two series. So 29 will be a common term. If you see that 29 is coming in this one also, 29 can be written in this form. 3 into 7 plus 2, 3 into 9 plus 2 will be 29. Or an easy way to see is this one is 11a plus 7, you equate it to 3b plus 2, or you write 11a is equal to 3b minus 5. Okay. So what are the possible values for 3b minus 5? b equal to 2, this you have 1, then you have 4, then you have 7, 10, and you keep adding 3 to it, 16, 19, we're not getting any remainder, any 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 19, 22, 25, 28, and then 31. So did we get any remainder, any multiple of 11 in this case? Yes, we did. We didn't get 11, but we did get 22. Okay. So that means a is equal to 2 is a satisfying thing. A equal to 2, and in that case b will be 9. Okay. So what is the value of this in these cases? Just find the LHS or RHS because both will be equal, right? So this will be 29. Okay. So you're getting the LHS and RHS both as 29. So the remainder of 33 can be directly said to be 29. And by 33 remainder is 29. Okay. Another simpler way to look at it, you know that 11a plus 7 and 3b plus 2. This is what we wrote earlier, right? First of all, take the largest divisor. Largest divisor in this case is 11. Two divisors in this case are 11 and 3. Largest is 11, right? So you first of all write 11a plus 7. Now instead of a, you put this value 3b plus 2 of the next biggest divisor. So you write this as 11, 3b plus 2 plus 7, or you write it as 33b when you open it, plus 22 plus 7 is 29. So simply by this also, in this case you didn't do much calculation, simply you got the answer as 33b plus 29, which means the remainder of n with 33 is 29. Even if you don't know Chinese remainder theorem, it is completely fine because it is required in very less number of questions. First, master the basic concepts of remainders, cyclicity, negative remainders, and what all I have explained in the previous videos, and then come to some advanced theorems like Wilson theorem, Fermat's Little theorem, and this one. Let's go on to the next question. Okay, the question 2. Till now we have discussed only the first question in detail about two methods. So this says n is equal to 2015 raised to power 2015, p is equal to 2015 raised to power n. Okay, so 2015 raised to power this entire thing. S is the remainder when p is divided by the fourth prime number. Find the remainder when s is divided by 4. Okay, so we know that first thing is to find the remainder, find s. Okay, s is the remainder when p is divided by fourth prime number. What is the fourth prime number? What are the prime numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7. Is 1 also a prime number? No, 1 is never a prime number. The first prime number is 2. Okay, so the fourth prime number is 7. So what is s? S is remainder of p with 7. Okay. What is p now? P is 2015 raised to power 2015 raised to power 2015. This is equal to 2015 raised to power 2015 multiplied by 2015. Correct? No, this is wrong. Always, if you are said a raised to power b raised to power c, this is never equal to a raised to power b whole power c. These two are entirely different things. Let's take an example to see this. So 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 3 if you have this. So what is the answer for this one? This is 2 raised to power 8, which is 512. Okay. If you do it, 2 raised to power 2 raised to power 3, which is also equal to 2 raised to power 2 multiplied by 3, which is 2 raised to power 6. This becomes 64. Okay. So these two are not equal. This is the most common mistake that as parents do in this. So 2015 raised to power 2015 raised to power 2015. Remainder with 7. First of all, first and foremost that we have seen in the past videos also, calculate the remainder of 2015 with 7. What is that? We get 2 here, 6 here, 5. If you see, the remainder of 2015 with 7 will be 6. Okay. So you get 6 raised to 2015 raised to 2015, remainder with 7. These are equal. Okay. 6 can also be set to minus 1 because their negative remainder will be minus 1. Okay. Now minus 1 raised to power this entire thing, 2015 raised to 2015 divided by 7. Now 2015 raised to power 2015 will always be odd. Okay, because there is no 2 in 2015. Okay. So the remainder finally will come as minus 1, or you can say that as 6. Similarly, simple, the answer is 6, or S is equal to 6 is what we have got till now. Okay. Find the remainder when S is divided by 4. When 6 is divided by 4, we get the answer as 2. So answer in this case will be 2. Moving on to the next question. 15 raised to 23 plus 23 raised to 23 divided by 19. What is the remainder? Again, two ways to solve it. One is the conventional way which we studied in the past. One will be a trick, kind of trick that students memorize. Okay. First of all, you ask the remainder with 19. Okay. So 15 can be written as 19 minus 5, or the remainder of 19 minus 4. The remainder of 15 with 19 can be said to be minus 4. The remainder of 23 with 19 is 4. So you can write this as the remainder will be minus 4 raised to 23 plus 4 raised to 23. Because the power is odd, this minus will come outside. So you will get minus 4 raised to 23 remainder with 19 plus 4 raised to 23 remainder with 19. Whatever the remainder might be, it could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or whatever. It will be x, right? So it will come as minus x plus x is equal to 0. So the remainder comes out as 0, as simple as that. Okay. Let's look at another thing. Sometimes students memorize a property that a raised to power n plus b raised to power n is divisible by a plus b if n is odd. Okay. So if you see it by that property, so you see that you can apply this. Why? Because the powers are common here. We are adding two terms and the powers are 23 each. So you get 15 raised to 23 plus 23 raised to 23 will always be divisible by 15 plus 23, which is 38. So it is divisible by 38 because the power is odd. Now anything which is divisible by 38 will always be divisible by 19. You know that why, right? Let's see Euclid's lemma. Any number n which is divisible by 38, 38q. You can also write that as 19 multiplied by 2q. This 2q will become other capital Q. So this becomes 19 capital Q. So any number divisible by 38 is also divisible by all of its factors and 19 in this case. So simply. Now let's quickly see why this happens. Okay, I'll tell you a shortcut method to prove this yourself and remember this yourself. Okay, so we are finding the remainder with a plus b. What is the remainder of a with a plus b? It is a. Okay. What is the why is it a? The multiple of a plus b just before a will be 0. Okay. We are considering that a and b are positive numbers in this case. So what is the remainder when a is divided by a plus b? Multiple of a. Let's create a number line here like we did in the last video. Okay. This is 0, this is a plus b. So multiple, and this is let's say somewhere b here. Multiple, we are finding the remainder of a with a plus b. Multiple of a plus b just before a is 0. Okay, so you subtract a minus 0, you get a. Okay. So the remainder of a will be a. Similarly, remainder of b will be b, but if you have to calculate the negative remainder, it will be b minus a plus b. B minus the next multiple, which is minus a. Okay. The remainder is a raised to power n plus minus a raised to power n, and this will be 0 when n is odd, because when n is odd, this will become a raised to power n minus a raised to power n, which becomes 0. So the remainder comes out to be 0 when a raised to power n plus b raised to power n divided by a plus b and n is odd. Okay. Similarly, there is a similar property. A raised to power n minus b raised to power n is divisible by a plus b when n is even. Try to prove it the same way. It can prove exactly in the same way. Okay, you can remember these properties and apply it in the questions, but this is not required for most questions. So you can solve most questions by basic techniques, but for speed you can remember this if you are clear with the basic concepts. coming to next question, this is n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 again. What is the remainder when n is divided by 333? One very simple way is to just keep dividing by 333 and get the answer in 15 minutes, which is not possible in CAT. So let's look at shortcut. Again, you must know by the first question how to solve it. You must get a hint. So I recommend that you pause the video here, try it by the things that you tried in the first question, first method, and then solve it. Resume the video after 5 minutes and then see if the solution matches. Okay. So what is n? N is 1 into 10 raised to power. How many digits are here? First of all, let's say there are 18 digits in total. Okay, 9 digits here, 9 digits here. So 18 digits in total, which means 1. After 1, there are 17 zeros. So you can write as 1 into 10 raised to power 17 plus 2 into 10 raised to power 16 plus dot dot in this sense. Then 9 into 10 raised to power 9. Plus similarly, after that you will get 2 into 10 raised to power 1. Sorry, 8 into 10 raised to power 1 plus 9 into 10 raised to power 0. This is 1, this is 10. Okay. Now if you see the remainder with 333. So remainder of, let's also write a few more digits here. Okay, you will get 9, 8, 7. 7 into 10 raised to power 2. Then you will have 6 into 10 raised to power 3. 5 into 10 raised to power 4. Plus dot dot dot. I am writing this from the right. Okay, going this way. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay. So what is the remainder of 10 raised to power 0 with 333? 1. Remainder of 10 with 333? 10. Remainder of 100 with 333? 100. Okay. Remainder of 1000 with 333? It's going to be 1. Remainder of this with 10,000 with 333 will be multiplied 10 raised to power 3 and 10 raised to power 1, which means 1 multiplied by 10. Okay. So the remainder will be 10 in this case. And if you see, the remainders will keep repeating like this: 1, 10, 100, 1, 10, 100. Okay. So which means for any number, what all, let's write the number down here. I'm just writing it once. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then there is one more iteration of this here on the left. This is from the right. So this 9 will be multiplied by 1. This 6 will also be multiplied by 1. Okay. Then this 3 will also be multiplied by 1. Okay. So you get 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 3. And you have again this 9 here because it's written twice. So plus 9 plus 6 plus 3 multiplied by 1. Plus you have 8, 5 and 2, which will be multiplied by 10. If you see, 8 is multiplied by 10, 5 is multiplied by 10. So 8 plus 5 plus 2, and this into 2, because again similarly I'm not writing the addition 8, 5, 2 again. So it will be multiplied by 2 into 10, plus you will have the other digits which are left: 7, 4 and 1. Again you will get 7 again on the left thing. So you get 7 plus 4 plus 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 100. So this is what the remainder of 333, the remainder of given number with 333 will be. So 9 plus 6 plus 3 is 18, 18 into 2, 36. So this comes out as 36. This is 8 plus 5, 13 plus 2, 15, 30 into 10, 300, plus 7 plus 4 plus 1 is 12 into 2, 24, into 100, 2400. This comes out to be 2736, 2736. Now all you have to do is find the remainder of this with 333. Again, either you can do it the conventional way or you can do it like this, because same way we'll do it, right? This will multiply by 1, 10, 100. This will multiply by 1. So 6 and 2 will be multiplied by 1, which means 8. 3 will be multiplied by 10 and 7 will be multiplied by 100. Okay. So you get 30 plus 700 plus 8, 738. Now this time we'll have to find the remainder with 333. So we know that 666 is a multiple. So 738 minus 666 is your answer. This comes out as 34 plus 38 is equal to 72. So 72 is your answer in this case. So 72 will be the answer. Coming to the last question, this is a very easy question. This really, you should pause it here and you should try to solve it yourself. Give it time, you should be able to solve this yourself. This is a very easy question. The value of fn is the remainder when nth prime number is divided by n. Okay. Fn means the remainder when nth prime number is divided by n. For example, what is f2? Second prime number is 3 divided by 2, remainder is 1. Okay. Find the value of f10, f9, f8, f7 till f1. Obviously, when you see this kind of thing, you should know that there is some kind of trick to be used, because the question doesn't expect you to multiply, calculate these 10 values individually and then multiply. Okay. Let's see what will be f1. What is the nth prime number? First prime number is 2 divided by n divided by 1. Remainder is 0. Okay. So f1 is 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is 0. So answer will be 0 in this case. Okay. So this is the question. These are all the questions that we have solved, that we have done in the quiz. So we have looked at the solutions for each. Some solutions might have looked tricky to you or some complicated to you. I recommend that you try to imitate those solutions. I mean, write them step by step in your copy. Understand the logic behind each step. That is when you extract the main benefit out of the solution, right? It's not just about knowing. It's not just about knowing new solutions. It's about understanding them and convincing yourself that why did we do this step in order to solve the question, because your goal is to be able to solve new questions when you get those in the exam, not just solve these questions which I'm giving to you now. So this is about the 5 questions. Again, as I was saying, make sure to join us for the engagement sessions and the factors quiz. Again, we'll have a similar solution video for the factors quiz also. The links are in the description below. If you like the video, press the like button, subscribe to the channel for upcoming videos, and make sure to join the Facebook group for the upcoming sessions. All the best, keep learning.